I bought this car July 6, 2013. $27,670 MSRP. The LE, this is the XLE. The LE is $1,530 less, $26,140. What do you give up? You don't have any options, so you don't have a Navigator option. You have no power 8-way driver on the lumbar on the driver's seat. You have no safety connect at $515 plus the fee each month. You have no chrome exhaust. You have no leather trim steering wheel. You have no compass, auto dim rear view mirror. You get one 12-volt instead of two. You don't have this metal bar across the back. It weighs 90 pounds less, 3,435 pounds versus 3,525. You have no fog lights on the LE. You give up quite a bit for $1,530. Also, on page 510 to 515 of the manual, you don't have any of the customization of the features of the car. I've completely reprogrammed my car myself. You do that through the Navigator, and with no options on the LE, you don't have the Navigator. You have no moonroof option, although as you can see on mine, I have no moonroof. That's $915 of something to go wrong. You have no leather option at $1,185. Of course, I don't have leather myself. I don't want leather. I don't like the feel of it. And you have no blind side monitor, which is supposedly $500. You'll see I don't have it here either, because it's not $500. You have to buy the moonroof at $915 and the leather seats at $1,185. And then the $500 for the blindside monitor, so that brings the total to $2,600 for the blindside monitor, doesn't it? You have no heated outside rear view mirrors like I have on the XLE. You have no humidity sensor, which is located right here on the windscreen, so it can tell what to do to defrost your windows and your outside rear view mirrors. It has no backup camera option. On mine, I added the convenience package for $695. The convenience package at $695 gives you quite a bit. You have the backup camera that's in the same 6.1-inch screen here. Has a beautiful view and has lights on it so you can see where you're backing up in the dark. It also has HomeLink, which is located right here, so I can open and close my garage. You can control 3 separate ones. And you don't have the alarm anti-theft. So all of that is the convenience package for $695. This is the steering wheel, leather steering wheel. I added the display audio navigation with Entune. It's coordinated on the Entune with the app on your smartphone for an iPhone or an Android, not for my BlackBerry Z10 that I'm using to do this video. The HDD is $2,670. So since this is $1,050, that's $1,620 difference. And what do you get? Well, instead of the 6.1 screen, you get a 7-inch screen. You get 10 speakers instead of the 6 that I get. And you get the split screen capability where you could have the car information on one side and the Navigator on the other. In addition, I added the lip spoiler here, which was $299. The body side molding you see on the side, which was $179. And the door sill protector you see here, 4 of those are $249. And then I added the clear paint protection around the edge of the door here and around the trunk here and in the cups here. I also added carpet mats. So I have the carpet mats, which was $299. With the delivery processing fee of $860, that brought the total for this sticker on this car that I ordered, I special ordered this car, $31,500. It's classic silver, metallic with a light gray interior. That's the lightest you can get. The dashboards are all dark. I believe this to be the best buy in America today. There are now 200 million Toyotas, and there are now 200 million BlackBerries. While the two don't talk to each other, you'd have to speak to Toyota. There are some things you can do on the BlackBerry with the Bluetooth, and I'll show you that. This is the satellite that's built in. You get that for 90 days included in the price. This is a fuel economy and greenhouse gas rating of 10 out of 10. It has a 8-year, 100,000 mile warranty on the traction battery, 5 years, 60,000 on the powertrain, 5 years unlimited corrosion perforation coverage. The Toyota Care for the normal factory maintenance is included for 2 years at $25,000. You have 3 years of Navigator, traffic, weather, fuel, sports, and stock. I'll show you that. That's if you have an iPhone or an Android. It has a 5-star rating on the side crash, front and rear. It has a 5-star overall vehicle rating and a 5-star rating for the driver in the front. It has electronic continuous variable transmission, electronic power steering, VSC, track, ABS, EBD, and smart stop technology. The hood is unlatched by going to the blue logo indicating it's a hybrid, putting your hand in and sliding it to the left. It has 2 hydraulic lifts. You have the same everything in a Camry, whether it's a hybrid or not. You're giving up about 2 cubic feet in the space in the trunk, and other than that, they're all exactly the same. This is the 2.5 liter 16 valve dual overhead cam gas engine. It has 178 horsepower. All Camrys have 178 horsepower. This one is a hybrid. Both the LE and the XLE that you're looking at here, the XLE, have power assist. So if you need to accelerate, you're using the hybrid in addition to the gas. So you have 200 horsepower, not 178 as all of the other Camrys. They've moved the water dispenser for the windshield to down underneath the lip now. It has a sound protection screen on the front windshield. 5.1 of the 6.3 million hybrids in the United States sold so far are Toyota. There's simply not another car to really compare this car to. This is the monitor here that you're looking at that monitors the headlights for dimming, auto dimming. I didn't want a hatchback. I didn't want a lithium-ion battery. They're lighter weight. This battery is warranted for 8 years. I'm going to save over $50 a month in gas and over $6,000 over 10 years. I kept my last Camry for 10 years and had 150,000 miles on it. I get 40, according to the sticker, 40 miles per gallon on this Camry XLE. It's best, #1, miles per gallon in its class. The top 7 cars for reliability are, Toyota has the top 3, all 3. The Toyota, the Lexus, and the Scion. Mazda's #4, Subaru 5. #6 is Honda. And #7 is the Acura. And Nissan and their luxury Infiniti are poor reliability compared to the top 7, according to Consumer Reports. I still don't like the battery setup on the 2013 Camry XLE, but I refused to buy it last year because of the battery. This year they've improved it. You have a smart entry key system. You can press buttons to open the trunk here and unlock the car or lock the car. Or you could take the key and just put it into your pocket. It also has a removable key on the top, so I could pop this part out and give the attendant just the bottom part, and I could lock the glove box and my possessions in the glove box. Or I could just walk up to the trunk, put my hand underneath the blue logo, and it lifts up and opens for me. And then inside you can see that I have an area of 77 inches that I could put a long 13-inch wide board that's 5 inches tall on the right side. You can see it's a little bit higher there on the left at 6 inches. And I have over 13 cubic feet of storage space in the cargo. The automobile battery is located on the right side in the trunk. The spare tire is located here in the back, and it comes with the tools. It's a donut. This is how you open up to get into the back seat. So you can pull this bar right here and release the latch for the rear seat. And then the rear seat folds down as you see here. The back seat itself is quite roomy. You have separate air conditioning in the back, and you could turn this off or turn it on and adjust it. And you can see how much space and storage you have here in the back seat. You have 2 bottle holders on both of the rear doors. You have courtesy lights in the front and in the center that turn off after 30 seconds. All of this is programmable as to how you might want it. You've got a console, the new anti-whiplash seats that Toyota's designed. You can see the way it's leaned forward. You have handles on the side that are not to reach, to hold on to when you're going out of the car, but to simply sit while you're sitting here. And it also has a hook for not a coat hanger, but to hang your coat. And you have speaker systems in the back, and of course the latches for child safety seats. This is the vent for the battery in the back seat on the hybrids. You want to keep that clear. You have back seat space here to put things in the back of the seat. Let's drive the car. I've driven it 393 miles, but I believe I've mastered it enough to show it to you. There are 3 controls to the keyless system here on power. You press it once and it turns on the navigation and stereo system. Stereo system has HD now, indicating that the power is on. I can press it a second time with my foot off of the brake and it turns on everything. You're seeing here the tire pressure and it's saying that the tire pressure passed on the cars. All Camrys have the tire pressure monitoring system built into it. This is the standard Navigator, not the HDD Navigator at $2,670. So I don't have the ability to see on the car information here the tire pressures of each of the 4 tires. I have audio, seek up, seek down. I have Bluetooth, so I could press the telephone and it's gonna allow me to go into my contacts, which easily moved over on my BlackBerry. I can see my call history and my messages. So people could send me a text message to my BlackBerry and I would see it here on the screen. You get to see the first couple of lines of it. If you want to see more of it than that, then you need to pull over to the side or pick up your BlackBerry to use it. You have air conditioning you can turn on by simply depressing the auto. Here I've got mine set to 69 and hers to 72. Each can be individually controlled. You have fan speed that you can control here. Or if you do it like I do, you do it in the eco mode and it controls the fan speed for you. Here I have econo mode, which I've selected on mine, and EV mode, which is the stealth mode, where you can drive 1.3 miles without making any sounds. There's some sounds that are generated by the Camry Hybrid to indicate to people that you're moving in around them. But other than those small sounds, there are no sounds. It's not a beep, it's just a noise that sounds like a car. Otherwise, as you can tell, the car is completely quiet. You have no way of knowing that you started the car. So let's go ahead then and start the car. I put my foot on the brake and then I press the power button. And just that quickly, then it's on, and you can see it's in the econo mode and it's also in EV mode. The EV mode will go away when it needs to generate more through the traction battery. There it goes now. The EV's gone away. Econo is still turned on, showing my elapsed time and my average speed. I can depress on the steering column display and it changes it to how many miles per gallon and average since starting. This is a picture depicting the engine at the top, the battery at the bottom, and the wheels. And so you can see, depending on how the arrow is pointed in what you're doing with regard to refilling the battery. In this case, you can see the battery's down about halfway. And you see the odometer is indicating 396 miles, and then you've got trip A at 38.5 miles and trip B at 2.1. You have a LED readout on the side here that shows when you're doing really well by taking your foot off the gas to add more energy back to the 650 volt system. Then your gas tank, your speedometer, and then over here it's indicating that I'm in P for park and that the outside temperature is 79 degrees. And then it's showing here a depiction of charging, eco mode, and power. Power is where you're doing 200 horsepower to speed up to take off. The Bluetooth works fine with the BlackBerry. Here's the Bluetooth. So I can hang up, I can place a call, and I can also do voice commands. Over on the left side, I have a 4-way. The 4-way is used in conjunction with the Navigator so that I can program all of the features of the automobile, and I can change the mode that I'm in from AM to FM, and I can change it to satellite, and I do that here with the mode switch. So everything's done on the leather steering wheel. I have on the driving a park, a reverse, which is negative energy, a neutral, which is not feeding back to the battery system, the drive, and then a B for brake. That should be used going down a mountain hill. You wouldn't want to use that extensively. it's not refilling the power. In here, there is a storage compartment where inside I have a 12 volt, and I also have a USB port, so I can connect extra storage. You can store 200. You can store 200 in your destinations in your Navigator, or use a USB and have more. Do them off your BlackBerry or iPhone or Android. The CD is a single CD player here. It has an eject button. I can program the car by pressing the setup. When I press setup and I have the engine started, I can press vehicle. On vehicle, I have choices of auto lock. So I can set it so that if I take it out of park, it's locking the doors for me automatically, and then shows me the rear view camera. As you can see, it's a very good view. It has a built-in light for it, so if you're in the dark, put it back in park and it's auto lock, locking all the doors. I programmed that, so I chose that here by pressing the select button in the center here on the four-way. If you don't have the XLE, you won't be able to program those things. You'll have to take it to the dealership to have it done. So the XLE has these advantages over the LE, where you can't do those things because you don't have a Navigator. I have a choice of car and apps. If I press apps, then if I have Android or an iPhone, I could do Pandora or weather or iHeartRadio or fuel prices, movies, sports, traffic, open table, stocks. The indicator here is indicating that the battery in my BlackBerry Z10 is fairly full, and you can see the Bluetooth is connected. So I am up and running on my Z10 BlackBerry in that regard. Down here I have a button to press for the rear view mirror, and you'll notice there's also a back window and the exterior color keyed rear view mirrors on the outside of the car. So if I turn that on, it's heating the mirrors on the outside of the car at the same time that it's heating the back windshield. If you have the LE, you don't have that. You also have individual for the front, and you're getting all these indications here of the temperature inside and outside the car so that it can monitor it. It also does automatically on the recycling of the air. I can turn the air conditioning off, or I could depress and turn the air conditioning on auto, and each individual with separate controls. There's an extra storage area here with a second 12-volt battery connection that you don't get on the SE. 2 cup holders, bottle holder on the door. You get speakers on the door, and you get speakers up at the top on the left, and then the 2 I showed you in the back. You have a clock, so it shows you the time, and you can set it. Here's a closer view of the sensor for checking what it needs to do on the humidity outside to heat the windows. The auto on the rear view mirror, and I could depress that and turn that green light out, and then it'll stay off until I restart again. And it also has a compass, which you don't get on the LE. There's a storage compartment here for a pair of sunglasses. If you don't choose the leather option, you don't have a light for the vanity mirrors on the 2 front sun visors. It's a more angular body that you have here now. It has 57.9 in height and 71.7 in width and 189.7 in length, with 109.3 between the axles. The other Camrys have a 28.28 coefficient of drag. The hybrids are .27. 58 inches of shoulder room, 41.6 of leg room. 102.7 EPA cubic feet total on the inside, and again 13.1 versus the 15.4 on all the other Camrys in the cargo. So you're giving up 2.3 cubic feet of cargo space. The Camry XLE Hybrid trim has the fog lights that you get on this vehicle that you don't get on the others. Let's turn the engine off. The 17-inch alloy wheels that you get on the XLE you don't get on the LE, and the fog lights that you get on the front that you can turn on if you have it in the standard light mode. If you put it into high beams, then you can't turn on the fog lights. The fog lights are right here on the inside, so you adjust this to turn it on. The lights have 3 levels. This is the traction control you have here. If you had the blind side monitor, it would be here. But I'm not paying $2,600 for it. It's a very quiet car. It has 2 differentials. I use SAE OW20 synthetic oil. The tires are 215, 55, 17. I like the stealth mode. That's really nice. It works up to 19 miles per hour. When you start the engine, as you heard, there's no sound at all. The reverse is a negative voltage. The braking, think of it very similar to that. Neutral, it's electric, and the motor is off. So everything's the same as the Camry for the hybrid, except for you have the regenerative friction-based braking. So you're going to have less wear on your parts on a hybrid. Now, you're going to have less cost over time because you're really not braking with the brakes. But it's got the same exact brakes as every other Camry, so it's very, very nice braking. I find the steering very responsive to me in the freeway driving. I feel a little bit of play in it. It's got a good feel to it. I like that. The satellite's included for 36 months. Excuse me, for 90 days. It has power rack and pinion steering. It has a 6.1-inch ground clearance. It has an Atkinson motor. '13 Camry XLE Hybrid.